innovators to peer mentors, teacher community, the school culture, and the community impact. And of course, yeah, the impact beyond the classroom when we have a great system to make sure that the STEM practices will apply successfully. So finally, we cannot scale alone. Of course, the partnership with teachers, universities, as I said just now. And our goal is no longer to create one successful STEM project. Our goal is to build a culture where students keep creating, even when we are no longer standing in front of them. Like my friends, they move to other school, right? And they still the STEM practices still being applied at the old school, and they start the new system, STEM system, at the new system. Yeah. So yeah, sustainability is not about preserving what we have created. It's about empowering others to create what comes. Mhm. I think I have videos to here is my message. I will teach with your videos and consultation. We also can start. I think I want to show one video right. I'm not sure. Rita, what we have learned from you is sustainability is not only about serving, but it's more about empowering. And I think that's true. And to sustain, we need ownership, we need system, and then to scale and sustain, we need partnership. All right, thank you for completing our journey because we started innovation, right, and then we go on with the student impact and leadership, and then community, and then we finish with sustainability. Thank you, everyone. But thank you very much for the insightful answer. But we haven't done with the part one yet. So before we wrap up part one, I have one final question for everyone. So please feel free to answer this question, anyone. Then feel free to jumping on to this question, right? And I have this question: if you could give just one piece of advice to STEM educator, right, in Southeast Asia and across the world, what would it be? Anyone can start first. Okay. I would say that look around you. The idea is there. You can just find it somewhere in your school. Okay? That's how I did. I found my idea when I went walking around my school, and I started my STEM program and innovation from there. Thank you. Anyone else? I think you have a lot to share with us. Right. I think it's similar to what we learned from Center Reading School this morning. We start with something that, in our environment is not relevant, and then we realize all, practice of the problems, and it can come with the innovations. Right? So, anyone else that wants to share any thought on this question? Please feel free to do so. Yeah, directly you so much there that. Thirdly, afraid of failure. try. I mean, at the moment, we are trying to produce a rosal jelly, and we have been facing failure. But my students are well all out. They are trying all kind of different solutions as well as the STEM teacher in charge. I'm very proud of my STEM teacher. Yeah, I have empowered her. I've given her the duty to take over the project. Okay, and she's really doing a good job of it. Yes, never give up with your colleagues, your student, and yourselves. Okay, thank you very much for your answer and everyone. I think it's very useful and applicable to all the STEM education and personalization and of course growth. Before moving on to part two, we would like to open the floor for few questions from our audience. Okay. Please feel free to raise your hand or if for those who join online, please submit your question through the live chat box. So far, we haven't had any question yet, but we have. So our audience is still, reflecting on what you have just shared with us. So, probably I may ask you one question, one more question, on behalf of the audience. Right. One is good, one is one has to be slow. Oh, yeah, no, it's sure. Jadi person is the kind of private university and sama Milan. We are trying to get into a teaching them for machines to so we have just a simple national learning. I love that things in terms of happy. I also like number two. I thought already as you get you need your slide. The slide at the end of the slide. We have an end of the slide. In online learning, you know that. My neighbor is not giving the alternative. May you on my video? We also have capabilities, so see they can join together and looking very this no, yeah, it's also prepared. You cannot open any video or any more slides. I'm sorry, but I still have this question. Actually, it's something that very common when we do something, when you start something, there's always challenges. And I would like I would like you to share the challenges that you have had when you try to, promote or implement these certification. Please feel free to answer any one of you. Okay. So, Madam, you want to know? I'll be talking to you. Okay. So, in terms of challenge, we in a rural school, like my school, yes now my school now, um, has a very I don't want to share it, but my student is a weak student in academics. So how we want to make sure that everyone gets the same thing like the good student. So we ourselves need to believe in our student. So start first. Whatever challenge comes, we need to start. Yeah. So don't care about I mean, the challenges is quite tough. If we did anything with student, but slowly but surely, they will success. Yeah. So just believe again in your students and yourself and people around you. Do you want to answer the same questions or do you want to try? Okay. Another issue that usually we face is finance. Well, you need finance. So basically, I've been encouraging the students to enter competitions which offer cash prize. That's one way to earn money. Then the other way is to go by exhibitions, where we also try to earn money, but sometimes things are expensive. Like for instance, my running school was very lucky. The agricultural department donated the ice cream machine. We talking about innovation is also my first innovation was Roselle ice cream, followed by Roselle tea. So I was very lucky because someone donated the agricultural department. I donated a freezer so I could keep the ice cream. And for the Roselle tea, the school managed to given somebody to buy the dehydrated machine. But I want to extend the ice cream, whereby the machine that she got from the department, I think, was maybe 5K, 7K. So I need that much of money, and it's not easy to get. So money is one of the challenges. Couldn't agree more. That's right. And I see we have two more questions from the online audience. And the first one, they ask, how do you sustain students' curiosity and engagement in STEM after introducing innovative projects, especially when resources or technology are limited? And then the next one we have, would you agree that STEM education should start even at kindergarten or even better at home? You can answer to any one of these questions. About the STEM education starting at kindergarten at home. I personally agree because there's a kindergarten near my house. And they have started STEM education. They even have a carnival every year. So I'm like wondering, wow, how the 5-year-old and 6-year-old can produce something. It's like the young minds are being tested. And then I also met a student during a competition. And I was talking to the student, and the student was telling that he had this problem at home. And then he didn't know what to do to solve it. Then he went through Google and everything. The problem started at home, and he created something. And then he went to South Korea or China, and he won a gold medal for his invention. I was like speechless. Wow, not bad. So the problem can start at home, and you can invent something or do something and changing life and innovation. Following that question is more personal. As because you are a science teacher, so I'm wondering, at home, do you try to start STEM education at home, like at home? Yeah, my kids are 20 and 25 years old, and they are in the university now. So basically, uh,
At home now, I'm more or less trying to train the younger minds. I'm very lucky. I'm lots of students are so eager to learn. They keep coming to me, teacher, can I join? Can I join? Can I take part in this? And then I encourage them. And I'm also happy to say I've got teachers who are interested, the young teachers. That's what I want. So I'm very excited about it.
If you don't have any problem to sustain curiosity or
And no, I don't.
but what about the others? Do you have any problem to sustain curiosity and engagement and STEM's education or STEM teaching?
Can I answer? Not sure. Okay, to sustain our product, so as an innovation, we sell the product every week at school. And every Wednesday, curriculum day. We can make it one of the school option product so that student and teacher can enjoy it regularly. Okay. The profit from the sales can also help increase the income of the startup. This income can be used to buy material and equipment for future STEM project. By continuing to sell and improve our product, we can make our innovation sustainable while also supporting the activity of the startup.
I think you also need the continuity, not just
Yeah.
curiosity. Luckily that you can use continuity to generate income. So that's very, very impressive, very cool. And then we have another explanation. This is not really about STEM, but they type STEAM. So STEAM needs good teamwork and enough facilities. So the question is, how can STEAM be used effectively in schools with limited facilities and resources? What strategies can teachers use um, to these limitation so that the limitation will not become a barrier to the learning. So since we have limitation here, we don't have enough facility, but how teachers and you guys, you know, solve this problem. From humanity to what is problem and we seeing that we toward the passion and less than 1 year screen, 5 years instead. Okay, so the simple thing if I'm getting to and I have some about equal screen and the judges one thing. Anything that anyone will do. Also, we like one thing, and we the part. You feel the exercise to get more items. So we can believe when we get. We make it very interesting for us. So there are very important stand to work to this. Stand is a thing. In the Germany, like Islam is very good. In Kerajaan Islam. Okay, they will come together with us. We need to support them. So now we hopefully this year they will be in understand we will see the leaders more students like to join us together. Then at the same time we get that people we have to student, there is some who know the lesson for Islam especially. We have given me around the budget, so we have kids. And we don't months. To get the go so until the experience. The implement is the experience. Like, oh, um, any more answers? Mm, this is, mediation, if you encounter limitations Nothing out facilities and how much you hold that to sometimes I think we can honestly universities will help. Usually our school is located in here where there's some public universities like University of Malaysia, University of Malaysia. These universities, they are all like research universities. And then when we contact them, they also have their STEM centers and everything. We can ask help for them. They are willing to, give help in terms of advice, and then maybe we can also use their facility for certain things, to do certain things, decision, yeah. To my understanding, the partners, yeah, very mungkin para generation ni kemarin to really kind of motivation, yes, especially for the packaging. I think it's actually like stress. I think it's all questions you have. And thank you very much, Kian and Juan, for sharing your really good thoughts and very useful techniques. Okay. Now, so I think we should move on to the second half of the session, of the sharing session. And we are going to narrow down, focus more on the hands-on classroom experience, especially using provider, provider. And joining us on the panel today, conversation today, we have a very special guest, Dr. Associate Professor, Dr. Anasini, 51, from Department of Biomedical Engineering at Yale University. She's the one who closely involved in the development and implementation of Rhino. And she also brings a strong understanding of pedagogical intentions behind the platform. So from now on, Dr. Pharmacy will take over the session and will first give us an introduction to herself and to Rhino. Please, the mic yours. Thank you very much. Hello everyone. I am Pharmacy. You can call me Fa. And it's my pleasure to continue today's professional sharing session. And first of all, I would like to acknowledge and great appreciation to Signal Segment that initiated the project that allow our professors and Thai professors to create the curriculum for schools, and we start a pilot school of around 11 schools in Thailand. And this project is called Focal Initiative, which is future-oriented classroom for AI literacy. And in this program, we developed the curriculum teaching about climate change situation, and we try to introduce a STEM and AI literacy concept to the classroom. The curriculum is designed by professors from Seoul University, which is original Mahidol University, Chiang Mai University, Malaysian University, and King Mongkut Institute of Technology in Langkawi. And I would ask two Thai teachers from this project to share in these sessions as well. However, before we start with the sharing session, let me quickly introduce about Flow Idol and how is it. So everyone would have some background about Flow Idol. Flow Idol is actually is a research project under uh, Mahidol University. This is I'm the head of the team to develop this platform. And we start with the problem that we realize that right now AI technologies grow very quickly, and that is would be the difficulty for the teachers because of I know that every the teacher have to train the student to learn about this technology for sure. So that's why last 4 years we start like applying some grant, and because of teaching AI basically it involved in like lots of programming language, like text-based programming like this, or even like English and also mathematics behind. So that's why like we lack programmers in like worldwide, right? That is the situation. So my idea is like, oh, we should change the way that we deliver like AI learning to the student, to the classroom. How can we make them learn with fun, fast, and friendly? That is the concept for building Flow Idol. And I will show you the videos about like Flow Idol. So everyone like can go to flowidol.com and you can register and go and access and use it. And basically, we just like drag and drop the block like this, but we call this flow-based programming. That's why the name is Flow AI Innovation. This is a flow-based programming. And like this, you can use your face to control the virtual robot. Or even like you take the photos, like the orange, the blue part, and then you click train for learning and click test like this for testing. That's very simple. Or even like you would like to do handwritten recognition. So you can like draw the A as the training data and also draw the B as another class of the training data. And then you click train and test. This is the testing mode. So just draw A and it recognizes A. And it can link to the microcontroller such as micro:bit and others. Like we run training actually in many schools. I think like more than 1,500 school knows this. Okay, and right now we have the user around nearly 100,000 users, and this is like the student use Rhino to like in the competition. And let I show you the more function. So we not only we teach them like okay how you come up with the innovation, but we try to make the tools for data analytics. How do we make mathematics easy for them to visualization? This is like how do we plot the graph? How do we do the regression? So we just add the data, and once we adjust the parameter, you will see that the graph, the red one, would change according to the parameter that we adjust. So the student can learn that the effects of each coefficients to the graph, to the data, and it would be changed the way how we teach mathematics in the classroom. That is the concept of like how do we train or teach mathematics or even like STEM project. Okay. And since it can be integrated to microcontroller, Arduino, micro:bit, ESP32, and actually around 10 boards. So students can create lots of projects. In Thailand, we have our biggest competition run by DIPA. It's a government organization, and school encourage students to develop the project and do the competition. We are a part of this competition as well, and yeah, and because of I talk about the focal project supported by Samuel Stengel, and we try to develop the curriculum. And this curriculum we intend to like pave the background, starting the CER framework, and then we add data literacy to make a student know understand like about the data, having awareness about AI hallucination, and then how to do the data analysis. And after that, we try to add like systematic thinking, like adding the causal mapping in that curriculum. And for the final part of this curriculum, we encourage the student to observe their environment and try to come up with some ideas or even like innovation or some project that demonstrate how they solve that problem. That would be the core idea of the curriculum. And right now, this curriculum has been implemented in 11 schools in Thailand. And yeah, that's this photo from different schools. And luckily that today I invited like two Thai teachers from like our pilot schools to join this sharing session. So I would like to give the stage to my teacher. Okay, maybe start with คุณครูปิยะ Is that okay? Because you are like this is the leader of the team who is the one that try to convince and also invite teachers to join our program. So he's a teacher in charge for helping me in this part. So let the stage to be teacher Pia. Thank you very much. Please.
Thank you, Dr. Pao. May I share my slide? Okay, this is ready. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. Yeah, so our physics teacher from Pasala Pizza School, Nakhon Sithamara in Southern of Thailand. Today I would like to share and exchange ideas with you all about my classroom. Focusing on AI methodologies and STEM teaching using Thai AI platform for I know. Yes. As you know that this semester, my school participated in a pilot school project with single STEM as center and foreigner. I choose to implement this into different subjects across two grade level. One is an interdisciplinary course for students in grade 7 and 8, and the other is my physics course for grade 12 students. Yes, for the interdisciplinary course, I start with a simple question. What's AI in your opinion? This build a tablet, look around for an answer. Yeah. I use this question to explore the student's vital knowledge, attitude, and misconception. After that, I have them try to find the answer of the same question using four different AI platforms. This was to observe their own writing skills and to teach them how to compare and find reference before belief and AI answers. This solid for make the right understanding of AI, develop their talking skill and make them to research the answer from AI this time. Yes. Next, this is verified. I use them to provide starting with technology. They own a lot of money when the first change to another. Then I have a student, I ask the student to compare human learning with AI learning using the IPO models. After that, we learn how to teach AI. But before letting students start exploring AI, they need to understand how AI recognizes different objects. We discuss x1 only, the number of pictures, and we set with 0 to 255 color system, grayscale, RGB scale, RGB color. How AI reading the image. Both AI and human are learning in the same way. I think. There is some input, the process, and then the output. After that, they have fun with the thinking model for I know, such as assessment. They learn how AI know whether we are smiling or get overwhelmed, feeling sad, or getting angry. They are use basic mathematics compare the ratio of our face with our mouth, and if the ratio is changed, they detect something and give the output for us. And okay, let's see the video first. Yeah, if you can see from the African from the video, this is another fine model. Is a hand skeleton. You start the basics of how AI, how our finger. Then students can put employment to display the number of fingers on microcontroller and you see in the video. Not only how fingers. There is some model inside for you know that and show us the hand side like glove, rock, or promise. So students can get an idea from this to make some project from this model. Like hand side can help some people that cannot speak to tell another one what they are thinking inside. Yes. So again, after from this model, you can see the atmosphere in my class. Yeah. This one, after learning the model, then they apply the model that they have learned to play game on foreign cartoon character to move and complete missions on the map. On the left side is the atmosphere in my class, while the right one is my twin daughter. Uh, her name is Eva. She was only 7 years old today. There is the birthday. You can see that even the little girl can joy, learn, and play with AI. This make when students have fun with learning, they will they will learn to looking for new thing or find knowledge. Yeah. And after we spend a lot of time with fun, we move to a bit serious. Student takes a lot to be doing a data scientist. They are many less useful for them. Table data. They can create their own table, put in data or can upload the data. And then they generate and save and upload a scrap for students again like in grade 12, they can perform linear regression. The objective of this previous course for students to be able to plot graph and use this as the videos when they're writing scientific explanation, like we will see from our friend from Malaysia, CER framework, helps students to look at, explain something not just memorize. Yeah. At the beginning of the semester, I asked the students to writing a scientific explanation about what of global warming. You can see it from this one. And I found that the student by evidence or provide a reason to connect to the answer. However, we practice for a while, starting with a simple fact like underline, replaying evidence, or listening. After that, they were able to prepare the fact to serve as a evidence for the reliable data. In this inter, I give them the data from kind of full project, right? This is the data of covered by concentration and the asphalt air temperature from the ice core of Antarctica. They upload this data and plot graph and then use it as evidence to confirm the claim that there is some relation between carbon dioxide concentration and the global warming. Yes. This is for the great showing and test student. Now let's move to my physics class in the topic of heat. This starts with a thermometer and temperature unit conversions. The very first question was if we put 5 thermometer if computing different unit to make sure that it works in the same bar. In which thermometer you will give the mercury to rise higher. Most of students answer incorrectly. This is because mercury is very uh, this is because the mercury in every thermometer regard follow the same physical law. They repeat the same amount of use expectantly and rise to the exact same height. The only difference is the number indicated for each unit. Therefore, we use mathematics to compare the ratio of mercury, height, and note the unit conversion. After that, my student prepared an take positive process, microbit board, temperature sensor, and for coding before I know. Every school in Singapore will get one from Joino and from Shino Center. There is many sensors inside with microbit board. After that, they write report using Joino to create a thermometer that would display the temperature in all units. This is saying the way we practice physics. Is then is main dimension of learning. Fundamental physics, mathematics, electrical, and then full thing at the same time. This is the vanilla experience. Use final microbit and temperature sensor. You can see that you can fly the board by themselves and test it every day, every time the this is respond in the real time and all here go through the same test that represent to the height of the mercury. We have to use mathematics to write down the functions that's used for convert from degree Celsius to another degree. Yeah. After that, students will divide into 6 groups to do many projects studying differently within the school that shown slides, such as group one circuit mission to study temperature on different circuit material or group four hot and missions. They find a relationship between this fan and temperature from and conditioner compressor. They spend 4 periods on total 200 minutes designing a format, connect data, summarizing, and present the results. And it is one of the example of student project. This group studied temperature of hot air at various distance from an air compressor and they have to control the CPR the workflow. Yes, and that's all for me for sharing with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, teacher. Yeah. The next teacher is also very active teacher. So he initiated, I think, a very, very good worksheets for this class and he shared to our Thai teacher as an idea how we do, how we teach in the class. I think it's time for teacher Chayo นะครับ says we are please.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chayon Sisinghan. I'm science and chemistry teacher from the school in Thailand. Today, I would like to share my classroom experience using Cynthia's methodology and Huayong with Thai grade 9 students. In this outline, uh, my classroom. The clean and social the screen. English. So when we respond, expand the screen, chat the screen. Right now it's a as well. Okay. And if you see a lot, you see a screen. No, yes. And can you share with me? Maybe you have to tell a whole screen. Did you see? Not yet. Okay. You see? Yes. Yes. Okay. Uh, this around my classroom how to find current problem in education on learning activity outcome. Okay, so first, my lead is pro in my classroom. This my classroom, this called is called maker and design team. I teach grade 9 student is 78 student. I have to our operation is we. Today, common student use AI tool for most of their assignment. Students only rely on AI and accept all its answer without questioning or verifying fact. Okay, right. Uh, this so this to solve this problem, I began with scientific thinking tool CER. ACR stands for faith, evidence, and listening. When introduced the CR paper, I found that students were not good giving scientific explanation. The problem is they didn't understand why they didn't need evidence to back up their claim. To fit this and make it easier, I adapted my teaching by using everyday example around them to connect. with the framework. The next, uh, after student understood CR, I moved learning outside the classroom. I had a student work without a student went to Octa farm who observed real world phenomena. Each student came up with 20 questions based on what they saw. After that, they use AI to review and refine the idea into a scientific question. Uh, the first activity, uh, detention, activity. For activity, I organize student into small group to explore, scenario using uh, interactive simulation. While they were collecting data, uh, I walk around and ask guiding questions to stimulate their critical thinking. It's a worksheet in picture compare original worksheet uh, and redesign worksheet. I use scaffolding to make the worksheet easier for students. Uh, by adding picture, students who work through the simulation step by step. I also give a simple tip to fit their level. The next activity, causal mapping relationship. In the causal mapping activity, students practice system thinking by connecting human activity to greenhouse gas emission. Because cause and effect relationship is a challenging. I use scaffolding technique at clear visual frame, picture, and example box to guide their thought. Uh, to help them based on complex link, I have them work in pair. Okay, this worksheet compare original and redesign worksheet. I found the problem. Some students took a photo of their worksheet and asked AI for answer, but the AI gives incorrect response. I told them the AI is not a way service. Reinforcing the importance of critical thinking and take in question of themselves. The next, uh, I introduce the 3S investigation tool. The 3S tool can solve static uh, and debate harm. It is a tool to check fake news. Students already see fake news every day. So this topic was very relatable today. For this worksheet, a student check the fake using official website to get track evidence from real source. Then after that, we introduced Poano platform. Poano was new to my students. Uh, so we start with the basic. Student learn how to log in and use the platform. Since we have no computer time, uh, I team up with the computer teacher before team during the period. Okay, then we can uh, exploring the AI video and connecting then with STEM learning. The student first explore simple AI video uh, such as face and object recognition and gender detection. This activity helps students become familiar with how AI with cognitive pattern. Uh, then we connect Guano and microwave. Uh, Next activity, a student use a light sensor to naturalize its density in different environment. They collected real data and analyzed the ground. A student use data evidence and view scientific explanation based on what they observed. This was a point where STEM, scientific reasoning and AI literacy came together in one learning experience. After this activity, students are going to develop their own project using Fuano and microwave. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, teacher Tony. And actually, I think this is a very good idea for all teachers that running the class in Thailand. And if audience have questions, you may leave your question in the chat box, and then maybe before I start the Malaysian teacher sharing, I will let them answer the question from you first. That is because of a lot of I think many things are very interesting, right, in their talks. So I would put this time for the question first. Yeah. So if you have any question, please ask. Any question, question that I would like to ask, where to, how do they learn all these extra things like we have the microwave, these kind of things? Because I really don't know where, how to explore those things. So I'm like interested how we came up with all those things. So before we start the real teaching in the classroom, actually after we design the curriculum, finish the curriculum by the professor, we run the training, personal training to the teacher, basically around 2 days at least. And I also support even if they have any question or would like to have a special training for them because this is pretty new to combine everything. Not only like, oh, I know, but CDR, what is CDR? Though we already teach like causal mapping a little bit, but just a little bit in the curriculum right now. So we have to discuss a lot. So we provide extra time and our teacher, like this is a pilot school. So the teacher Pia are very active teacher. So we try to encourage Thai active teachers to join with this pilot program. That is because of we need help from them to practice in different regions across country. Like, so we have like northern part, southern part, whereas this, I think like cover all over that. Yeah, that is the first step how to review. Any more questions? Okay. This thing can and I will ask stuff. Even until now, how many school is implement on the Thailand. Just for this program is 11 schools for the complete program. But before, as I told you, it's like we run the workshop. Some school also use in the curriculum. We have Bangkok schools around 400 that we create AI literacy curriculum for those schools. However, not completely like integrated state like this. And the name of the this curriculum is integrated state. Because in Thailand we have a problem like each subject is learning separately. Rarely merge or merge in a little bit. Yeah, that is we need examples how do we integrate and also AI literacy as well. So they are that's why we call it they are the pilot teachers to explore to try everything and I think the example that both teacher try to share I think is not for example, the worksheet from teacher Chayon, he shows how he changed the worksheet from the original one to the one that is like easy for student and I think easy for teacher to engage as well. Maybe teacher Chayon can add more comment on about your worksheet. Why you think you need to redesign, and after you use your new design, what is the feedback?
Uh, I think original policy difficult in student confidence level uh, no teacher uh, visual framework and visual frame for student in uh, learning uh, I use scaffolding support student learning in level I made the new worksheet um, for student learning. Mm,
Also, Shopee also share that his students, even in the holiday, they comes to run the experiment science project. Maybe teacher Priya share this part to the student.
yeah, that's start from this letter I know how so much you are in the public school and uh, what we do we have not only impact only in our past, maybe we can find cancer or the relationship or other school that can talk about this learning. I know how to computer or tell something about our lesson in this webinar. I told them 1 month before and I give them the new project right and I ask them to do this. You do your best to install your skill to show me what you have learned and then we use it to solve the problem in school that relate to our topic education. and that is that is good sign that we have the holiday, maybe 1 or 2 holiday before this webinar. So they time to do it and they really enjoy to do it in the holiday. Then before the school day, not seeing the school day, then a lot of people in Hungarian are in school and in school they got where they got there, they find a problem and resolve before doing the real work, the real experience on holiday and they want to feedback. So something from yourself in the live group. I got admired to feedback and ask for another internship on the film. It was very, very good. So how about you? So they active and sing our result for our book to that.
Thank you. Okay. There is a question from the audience. Teacher who have been trained to how long has the foreigner has been producing in 11 school in Thailand? How was the 11 school chosen? Can you please explain again? Basically, for this program, we train the teachers, I think, 2 days, right? If I'm not wrong, teacher Chayon and teacher Pia will help. Basically, we start the first day of training by introduce the curriculum. Because of this streaming music that created by professor from Seoul University, and it's not easy for Thai teacher to start it. So that's why we ask professors who help in this chapter to come and explain the ideas of this curriculum. And also, we start training about like Rhino, and Rhino basically we train around I think 6 hours for basics like using software part 3 hours and another 3 hours for a microbit part. How do they use interface with the get the data from the sensor or control actuators like motor or output devices. That is the time that we spend. And for the that for 11 schools. And from my experience, for 400 school in Bangkok, basically we create AI literacy related curriculum. So we built the curriculum for Bangkok schools. And this curriculum basically explain like how you appropriately use AI tools. For example, generative AIs, ChatGPT, Gemini, and others. So, and let them be aware about AI hallucination and also deepfake technology and having awareness about the fake news. And also for idols, like how they come up with the AI STEM project in that curriculum. But that one is not focused much on the STEM project. So that is this project, focal project by Seno Semet would be big different in that we focus more on how do we combine science, mathematics, AI together into the curriculum. So that's why I think those need lots of effort from the teachers to translate what professor in the university want into the real implementation. So that is the main things that I think those two teachers can work, show very well how do they implement. Okay. If there is no more question from the audience, I would move to Malaysian teachers. Luckily that I have experience for training these 5 teachers with just only 2 hours training. Yeah, 2 hours training is like very, very sharp. That is because of the time is very limited. Everyone is very active, and so they have lots of work in the school. Also have to have a very few schedules left on teaching. So that's why let's see after they learn about these 2 hours training and then implement that's cool. Let's see how the class would be. So actually, feel free to share. I would ask individual to share at most like 10 minutes each. Try yeah, that was good. We related on what? The progress team to be stay as stand to be team. We are including the learning AI teams taken area, right? So area, right? Yeah, that is a very new idea, right? But original A is like more arts. Yeah, but they were very interested in the AI policy stakeholder. Yeah, but I didn't invite the scene in the say similar to the same as maybe it's have to be schema. Okay, let's start with maybe Surita. Okay, Surita, the message for this chat. Okay, thank you, Dr. Panasi. All right. Okay, so using bio for AI extension in science. So I implementing this law I know with my science students, science students, even they enjoy a lot. Right, everything is gonna appreciate that I was yeah. So there are so many things that we can use with Go I know. It's very hard, interactive, and interesting. And yeah, so that helps my student understand that I can to hands-on activities. We interact with the I not just learn about the internet. Right? So then train AI models and explore image recognition. Yes. And student also build AI workflow using visual blocks. As you say, there's no 2 hours training mixed with teach my student also the basic I know using and okay, this is my student like what changed the okay, when give more confidence in listening and emotions. Also, we can collaborate to solve authentic and problems. Okay, better critical thinking without accepting AI objects and more engaged in science investigation. I will show it on the next one. Yeah, so definitely means that you are not a student from the straight learners in the question.
You think so I know it's changed the way I understand. I no longer just focus on finding the right answer. I learn to ask better questions think critically, experiment with different ideas, and create my own solution. It has definitely raised the level of my standing. I think to idealize race instead of how we learn STEM, it encourages us to think beyond what we already know, create different STEM concepts, and turn our ideas into something practical. It makes learning more meaningful because you are learning by practicing. Actually, I love the skill that you must be like we learn in the classroom. We can use AI and data and manipulation together to solve real world problems. This really change the way I think and understand. Yeah, we noticed that my student does not AI is ChatGPT, something like that. And now they really love to use the tool. I know that really very intellectual, not just for fun. Yeah, and related to สวัสดีค่ะชื่อลินค่ะจากการเรียนรู้เรื่องสอบเน้นขับนวัตกรรมและเรียนรู้แบบ CR เพื่อสอนให้ใช้คิดอย่างลึกซึ้งและใช้หลักฐานในการแก้ปัญหาทำให้ฉันมีความมั่นใจมากขึ้นในการนำเสนอความคิดเห็นและทำให้ฉันได้สนุกกับการเรียนวิทยาศาสตร์มากขึ้นนวัตกรรมทำให้ฉันเรียนรู้ว่าปัญหามีความมีทางออกหากเรากล้าที่จะคิดแตกต่าง So because my state is just near the borders of Hanyai, we have the northern area of Peninsular Malaysia. Yeah. So my student, I have a lot of Thai students. The race is Thai, but they are Malaysian. Yeah. So yeah, of course, after implementing the law, I know generate the community ideas. They share, I mean, the intellectual sharing between my students, they improve. They didn't just sharing about the fun AI like I said just now, the ChatGPT, they didn't know how to use the AI in the correct way, the scam, learning the lesson. Okay, yeah. So after the flow, I know they know that there is more fun yeah, using the AI. Yeah, increase the curiosity, creativity, and also the team members of so sometimes we have like science in around. Yeah. Of course, if you have any question, like feel free to leave the question in the chat box, and I will wait for the question. And the next, will be go right, sorry, go right, please. Yeah, actually, I conduct a class using flowino.com last Friday for about 1 hour and 50 minutes. My students were very excited to explore Flowino. I also did some research and found way to relate Flowino to the subject I teach. This helped me make the learning experience more relevant and engaged for my students. Okay, especially I teach the subject design and invention, especially in developing student creativity, innovation, and problem solving skill. In my teaching experience, I believe the students learn better when they are given opportunities to create, explore, and solve problems. So today, I would like to share how digital technology can support this process. First, let me briefly explain what design and innovation means in our classroom. Design and innovation is not only about making product. It is process where students identify a problem, generate idea,
develop a design, create a product, and improve their solution. In this subject, students are encouraged to think creatively and critically. Most important, they learn that a good invention should solve a real problem and provide value to people. Therefore, I see design and innovation subject as a very good platform to develop future problem solver and innovator. Okay, there are challenges in teaching design and innovation. Okay, however, teaching design and innovation also come with some challenges. Okay, one of the main challenges is that some students find it's difficult to generate idea. Some students have idea, but they are not confident enough to share them. Okay, another challenge is that students sometimes find it's difficult to develop their ideas into a proper design or product. Time is also a challenge because the design process also involve many stages from identifying a problem to developing and testing a prototype. Therefore, teacher needs tools that can make the learning process easier, more interactive, and more engaging. Okay, why do we need digital idol, digital tools? This is where digital technology can play an important role. Because students are already familiar with digital technology. Therefore, we can use technology not only for entertainment, but also as a learning tools. Digital platform can help students search for information, generate ideas, organize their thinking, and communicate their design. For design and innovation, digital tools can also make abstract idea more visual and easier to understand. More important, technology can support student-centered learning where students become active participants instead of simply by receiving information from the teacher. Okay. Um, Okay, one of the platforms that can support this approach is Floino. I see Floino as a useful digital platform that can support students throughout the learning process. Instead of using technology, only at the end of the project we can integrate this from the beginning. Students can use digital tools to explore problems, develop ideas, communicate their concept, and present their solution. For teachers, the platform can also help create a more interactive learning environment. The main idea is not to replace the teacher. Instead, technology become a tool that help the teacher guide students more effectively. Okay, next. I would like to connect below I know with the design thinking process. The process can be divided into several stages. For students, identify a problem, then they explore information and understand the problem. Next, they generate different idea. After that, they select the best idea, and develop their design. They can create a prototype, test it, and collect feedback to get the data. Finally, they improve their product based on the feedback. So I know can support this stage by providing a digital space where students share, explore, develop, and communicate their ideas. Okay, this one of the project that students uh, should write down with 30% of the coursework for SPM. National exam, examiner. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay, next slide. Okay, how students can use Flow I know. So how we can use Flow I know in design and equation subject in classroom. For example, I give to a student a simple design challenge. How can we create product that solve a problem in our school? First, students identify a problem, then they discuss and research possible solution. Using Flow I know, they can develop and organize their idea. Student can then select their best idea and develop the design. After that, they can present their solution to their classmate. Their classmate can provide feedback. Finally, student improve their design based on the feedback. Okay, next. Okay, through this approach, I believe a student can develop several important skills. First is creativity because student needs to generate new idea. Second is critical thinking because they need to evaluate different solution. Third is problem solving because they need to create solution for real problem. They also develop digital skill by using technology as part of learning process. At the same time, students improve their communication skill because they need to explain and present their idea. Finally, they develop teamwork and entrepreneurial thinking. These are important skills not for school but also their future career. Okay, last slide. Okay, to conclude, I believe that technology should not be the final destination. Technology is a tool that helps students turn their ideas into useful solutions. Through design and innovation, students can learn to move from idea to design to innovation and finally to impact. Okay, so I know can support this unit by creating a more interactive and student-centered learning environment. As teacher, our role is not only to teach students how to use technology. Our role is to help students use technology to think, create, solve problems, and make difference. And I believe that with the right uh, guidance and the right digital tools, every student has the potential to become a designer and inventor and a problem solver. Okay, maybe in the future, Dr. Pan could conduct a more detailed for ID.com program for my school. I think it would be a great opportunity to my students to explore the platform more deeply and understand how it can be applied to their learning. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, right now we run to the already English to Malaysian t-shirt. Okay. The next will be virtually. Something of let's see. Okay. Basically conducting this workshop on so I knew my students was a big challenge for because I'm a person who is not really AI friendly. I'm AI French. I'm French. Okay, but my students are very advanced. The only reason I use AI is as you say ChatGPT. That is the most common AI tool that I use. Otherwise, I stay away from AI. But I noticed that my students, they are very, very interested. So when the doctor had a course for us, a 2 hour course on a Saturday morning, okay, I made sure my son was there and there. Okay, what is this? What is it was like one big challenge for me. Okay, then she told us that we had to implement in school. Okay, I totally agree. Okay, then to find the time to implement this was another challenge because I had to book the computer lab for this. And then by then it was already nearly 3 weeks. And for a person my age, by the time 3 weeks, it's like my brain was already decided. So what I did,
I WhatsApp the doctor, and the good doctor was kind enough to give me a half an hour coaching session. Yeah, and I made sure the next day I did it. Really, I just, it was a real challenge. Okay, so I did it in the computer lab. Okay, what I did was I didn't choose any normal student, my own Form 1, Form 2. I teach lower form students, but I didn't choose them. I chose my STEM students, those students who are very active in presentation, who are active in taking part in competitions. Okay, so I chose around 15 of them, and we spent around 1 to 1.5 hours in the computer lab. So as you can see in the picture, beginning I started with the fun fair, and of course they had a fun time with that, and of course making fun of me. What teacher, you look young, and this, that, everything. Okay, fine. Then after that I went on to the object recognition, and then they were happy to play around, show their finger, put their water bottle to recognize those items and everything. Then I taught them the same thing which Dr. Pharmacy taught me. I taught them the same thing. They followed everything. Then after that, I told them, okay, I think it's time that you all explore on your own. Okay, so they started exploring on their own. Then I went round looking at what they were doing. I don't know how they managed to connect to a game. Outside there, I was like, pretty sure this is part of the show. I know, not a whole thing. They say, yes, teacher, it's inside there. I don't know how they managed to navigate themselves to the game. Seriously. And then some of them were creating certain things. Okay, I think you can see from the pictures there. Okay, we were doing all kind of things there. Okay, and the next picture. Yeah, the next picture. Okay, so here they were putting their fingers and trying to recognize object recognition, images, okay, and then playing the piano, okay, well, very basic things lah. But at least they were exploring on their own. Then I also asked them, are you interested to explore more? And they said they are very, very interested. Then I told them that I am not equipped to teach you that. Seriously, I lack the knowledge and the expertise to bring them further. So I was like thinking maybe the good doctor can have a course for them. And I think they might act as facilitators on my behalf, because I know my limitation. So I think they have the potential to bring forward the students in my school. And they are capable of conducting classes for the other students who are interested in AI. I know a lot of them are interested in AI, but I can't seem to spend the time with them to do it. If it is possible to create a course or something, whereby, every week, maybe 1 hour with them is also sufficient. That would be really, really good. Because I think I can arrange for such a thing. I mean, there's no need for Malaysia to go to Thailand or Thailand to come to Malaysia. Everything can be done through the internet. What's your AI system? So it will be good. really good for them and for us as well. And then not only for the students, I have a lot of young teachers who are very, very good. Anything I need to be done on the computer or anything, can you please help me? Yeah, I ever need to help. So I think I would like to train them also with this. Their pickup is better. So if I have these young teachers learning all more about Flow I know and how to use it in their classroom, they are all maths and science teachers. I think they might be able to pass the message to the other teachers as well as share with the students. Okay. Then these are a few things they were doing in the 1.5 hours. So I think you can see the playing game. I don't know how they got into that. So I was like, okay, good. You know, after all, they are 15 and 16 years old, and their mind is, yeah, they want to explore, they want to know, they are curious, okay? And they want to use AI in their daily life. So I think they are good. Okay, so I think that's all I would like to add. Okay, let's look at their feedback. These are all the feedbacks that I got from them. That night, I messaged each of them and I told them, what do you think about Skill I Know? So I've got all these feedbacks from them. Okay, so they said it's easy to understand. That is very important because when we introduce a software or an apps, it must be easy to understand. Okay, and the student learn many new things about AI and how to use it effectively. Okay, then another student, AI system is interesting and useful. I learned a lot about AI and how we can use it for science. Okay. The other one, this is important, beginner friendly. Like how we taught us, it was beginner friendly. So it's easy to use, especially for kid doctor. The next one. Okay. And yes, to explore something new. Okay. And then really interesting and fun how we can use in their daily life. See, I also enjoyed playing the game on the website. It was fun and interactive. Okay, enjoyed the program and learned many new things. Okay, okay, it's a web where I can explore and create new things. That is very important. Okay, so they could explore, they created new things, and she created a security doorbell where she could detect an unknown face and then make sound triggering. Wow, I was like impressed. I mean, I didn't teach her anything. She did all my research. And yes, good. I just used the bit and she could come up with that. Wow, it's impressive. So it's fun and suitable for people who want to create something new. Okay, good. Okay, the next. Okay. I think it was a good program for people who love to do some computer programming and coding. Okay, and help to figure out some games work and how AI can be used in industry for face recognition. That's true. Okay. And then this also for learning programming through games. I like that it makes programming feel more fun and less complicated. So obviously, so I know it is more fun and not so complicated compared to other apps. And then the game-based learning makes it easier to stay interested. while also learning how to code. Because these students, when they were in the lower form, they learn BSP, it's basic computer programming, which is part of their syllabus. They learn for 3 years, so they know coding and everything. So obviously, they found your system was good. So they could learn how to do coding and everything. Okay. So yes, he had fun messing around with the AI program, and he found it easy to navigate and very beginner's friendly. Okay, so I think overall, I know for my students it was a very good app, and it's really beginner friendly. And then it allows so many different and complex combinations. Okay, and it will be even more fun if we understand the programming code behind it. So I think these students are more advanced. They really want to learn more. Uh, and the best part is how easy it is to grasp every object you place. Shows how you can connect with others, whether it's a Boolean number or other data type. So basically, I've got a very good bunch of STEM students who are really keen on learning this. I asked them, they said they really want to learn it. So if the good doctor can create time or something for Malaysian schools, uh, then it will be good for us also. Yeah? Okay. So we see how it could work. Yeah? Okay. Okay. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Thank you so much. And actually, I really appreciate, and of course, if we can run a program for like Malaysian school, and I think my single assignment would be happy as well. And we also like has some collaboration with single exam there. So I think civil exams and it is going to have for teachers also. I will send the young teachers. Seriously, I have. I don't want to learn. It's just I think I want to. The young, they are very fast. They do things very fast. Okay, they do very fast. Actually, what I would like to share is that that is like DBT, but when we teach science or mathematics with even like info, I know it's about like theoretical. So we actually like maybe teacher Pia and teacher Sayun can share how difficult it is like introduce science concept like CER framework to the student, even like they try to use like for idol to draw that's draw engagement right probably like after the you want to share some things like how difficulty when you like start adding science knowledge is there any things you would like to share share the teacher share
Yes, I think it's often for them in service. Even Canada is it's that's is for one of five, right? And we might ask you if when they do these things for them. Use finally explanation. Write down something and I'm straight five evidence by use the scientific underscore to support the feelings. That word for no tell feeling sentence when love that usually love is that it's very fun. When you say that after that the moral no not that fun. I wonder is doing more something it's apart from when they see progress of Harvard, they got got that or do the education, the name of that it's not for something for that. And then after that, then we see many have many activities for an human period and question. And when we can do that by itself, especially students from the seven or the church, I think when they just when lack of experience with graph or uh, calculate something. After we can do that by itself, after we can do what is the calculate graph to use for this method. And this will many new type of data. And after we connect again to this CR, this simple expression, not the store only one. We can do it as well as we have to each time with for them we learn how to choose that what we be talking of data, what is the talking of functionality, what is that can help you to decide something that after that and we will do we very well be writing scientific definition and findings in our framework and we can also run the argument. That's the challenge. So that's the
Thank you. So the reason why I asked this question because of knows that for the students, they love to play, they love fun things. But when he tried to teach them some mathematics, science, like come back then, like oh, pretty hard. So I think the important issue is how we can still motivate them to learn in the real situation, theoretical like knowledge, anything that sometimes serious, like sometimes these analytical skill. That is the part that I think teacher Chayon and teacher Pilla already all tackling during this year because they are running. Of course, still wait for the question from the audience as well if you have more question. We still have two Malaysian teachers for sharing their class, how they implement. Well, I know in the past, so next is Noor Asian. Please, there's your. And then we have the interviews about master or my form use against the science subject. Usually, people come from SNG category. Now, just now, we come from SNG Banting and SNG category about. Okay, so for me, Plano AI is a very good and fun in my class. Yeah? If you know the educator, you explore the Plano basic AI kits and the technologies, education for them to see how effectively it could investment in the person. Okay, so we test it drew it out. Activity involve AI, okay, the program, sensor, and the electronic. Our experience allow to evaluate whether it is ethical, engaging, and suitable for the student. So through the result, we aim to share our experience and highlight how the Rhino basic AI can support interactive learning and develop of students and skill for Form 2 students for the science class, right? So like here in the Form 2 syllabus, the student need to know, state the component in electricity. And number two, they need to know the energy. Energy cannot be stored, but energy can change. So that two criteria to we need to explain to my student Form 2. So basically, with the kids, we are open already because we didn't have more laptop at the beginning because they have another activity. So we just using the quizzes. Okay, we put one part of the component, one group. Okay, we are running the quizzing, rolling. So the student very excited because why? They need to come in front in my class. Okay, they need to share what their component we have. Okay, like electricity component. So when they are explain the component, they need to connect my computer. Then at the same time, they can see the electrical component function. Then they can produce the energy exchanges. Okay, like from electricity, it change to become sound energy, what we call light energy based on Rhino kits. So they are not just clean, not just here, oh, electrical component, but what's that? So they are just clean for this. With the Rhino kit, they can get the evidence. What the evidence? So when they are put at the computer, so they can produce something to hear, to see, then we get the result. So they can show to their class, we get the light, electricity, so very proud. So Form 2 students, they are very basically, not like Form 4 and Form 5 syllabus. So they are more interested in my class. All the component in the kit have been used during my class, 1 hour. So not a boring class. So they are interested to understand every energy and electricity. Electricity component, energy changes. So they are function already. Then of course, electricity component is not easy to explain to students. Easy to say, but not easy to understand. Like energy changes. So class not boring, and the student very understand because not just a fantasy. They get the reality class with the touching, then observing, in the end they get the results, right? So with that, very special thanks to Final AI Kit from the Dr. Pa. Because why? Before this, we just share science like concept. Okay, but now we can share the science class, how to get their practical. Okay, biology need to practice and give me idea to handle the activity with the reality and interesting class. So they are here the simple one because I'm not a very expert teacher for the electrical component. Just we share the answer in the class. So at the same time we can give the problem solving skill, the impact on the student, right? So the student learn to identify error and find a solution in my class and improve digital and technology skill. At least they know come in front, oh, this is the laptop, and then using the electrical. So provide hands-on experience with the coding, sensor, and electronics. So increase interest in the STEM. So make learning science and technology more engaging. And they improve critical thinking. Okay, students understand how program and technology work together. Okay, so that's all from my school. Thank you very much. It is simple, but effective for my house. Yeah. All right, the last teacher to for today. I would like to like no, I think you have to count so. One blue, one blue, yeah. Yeah, so one blue, yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Bai. So when Dr. Bai introduced me and my friend about Fino, I also interested. I also surprised, but I still thinking because I'm a mathematics teacher, and then I would like to share something very simple, but a very meaningful to me. This is not story about the expert recording. This is my first classroom experience using Rhino with my student. As a mathematics teacher in my class, I always taught students how to calculate, solve equation, and understand mathematical concept. So from the Rhino, Fluino, okay, I wanted to try something different. So I wanted my student to see that mathematics is not only something they learn from the textbook. So mathematics can also be something they explore, build, and create through coding. So my student asked me, teacher, is it mathematics can combine with the coding? So that was how our journey with I right now started. Next. Yeah, when I first explored Final, after what I learned from the Dr. Pan about 2 hours, I asked myself, can my student experience mathematics through coding? Normally in my mathematics classroom, I explain the concept, give an example, and students solve the question. But from the apps, why not? I wanted to change the learning experience. Instead, a student could explore, build something, test their idea, and see what happened. What attracted me to visual coding approach, students did not have to start by writing complicated programming language. They could see the block, connect them, and understand the relationship between one process and another. So for me, Final become a bridge between three things. First is visual coding, mathematics, and problem solving. Okay. This is for my first classroom using a flying note. So when I have to say it was a learning experience for both my student and also myself. I did not want to stand in front of the classroom and give them every instruction. Instead, I allow them to explore. Starting from the simple number 1 plus 1 equal to 2, and then I try to ask them to explore. Then they begin to drag, connect, and test. Of course, sometimes the coding did not work. Sometimes we connect the wrong block, and sometimes they had to start again. But it was actually the most important part of the lesson. They were learning through trial and error. So they try and error, they try and error. Instead of being afraid of making mistakes, they started asking each other, why doesn't this work? And why should we change? They were learning by doing. From the first experience, I noticed the student naturally follow the learning process. First, they had to understand what they wanted to do, then they build their coding block. Next, they're connected to different components. After that, they test whether the solution work or not. And finally, if it didn't work, they had to improve it. Understand, build, connect, test, and improve. For me, this is more than just learning coding. This is also problem solving and computational thinking. And the biggest difference was that my students were not simply watching me demonstrate something, they were actively creating their own learning experience. I noticed, okay, next. Okay. Then I noticed something interesting happening in my classroom. I was curiosity, I saw active learning, I saw the problem solving, and most important, yeah, this one. I use the idea. Okay, even our school have a internet problem. Sometimes okay, sometimes not. And so my student beginning to explore things independently. When my students are doing maths, one of the most common question I hear is, teacher, what is the answer? But during this activity, the question started to change. What is the answer? What happened if I try this? Because when the student asks me, what happened if I put this? What happened when I put this? Sometimes like when Rajini say they make a game. If the answer is wrong, the robot is maybe stop. When answer is correct, the robot is done. They are becoming explorer and problem solver. And that is kind of learning I want to see in my STEM classroom. Okay. Feedback from my student.
My name is Ashley, and I think Freud was My name is Ashley, and I think Freud is a link and game that starters who want to learn coding. It's like it's useful because you can add games, you can learn math as well, you can really game. If you don't understand the concept, this is the link where everyone can just understand equally without referring to textbooks. That's all the main thing. My name is Alicia, and I've experienced what I know is I'm very good at website beginners, truly want to learn more easy and sign on the like at the same time. And it's very easy to on the play around and I really like sign but and it's simple that they would have more such a single like and maybe more to take care of more than just a Even drawing something understand living actually it's a very good experience for beginners to use like if they want to learn coding, if they want to learn coding and uh, it's very easy to use. And I hope they get more like subjects or I think from Hello everyone, my name is Navina, and this is my first time using this app. It's more suitable for beginners and it's okay for mathematics and ASE. It's very simple to read and it's good for beginners. Thank you. Okay. My name is Ashley, and I think my name is Alicia, and
Because of technology and AI is only meaningful when we can see how it changed the way our students experience learning. So my next goal is to move beyond simply learning how to use learning. I want my students to see, to use coding to explore the real maths and science concept. I want them to collect data. I want them to visualize maths through graph. I want them to connect coding with the scientific investigation, and eventually I want them to use what they have learned to solve the real problem. And so the journey I see for my students is a very simple: code, explore, create, and solve. As a teacher, we do not always have to know everything before our students begin. Sometimes we can explore together with them, and perhaps that is where meaningful STEM learning begins. Our goal is not only for students to learn STEM, our goal is to give them the confidence to create this STEM. Thank you. So we already complete for Thai teacher and Malaysian teachers sharing session, and this is just the beginning of our journey together. And I think if audience have any question, feel free to add your question in the chat box, and I would like to ask Dr. Kesra to say some things as at the last part before we close this sharing session. Thank you, for thank you for Thai and Malaysian teachers. Yeah, I think your reflection is very genuine, right? And I highly admire your honesty. And I think when you conclude with those remarks that we still can learn, right, uh, from students and also learn with them. I think that's really, I would say that that concludes everything that actually we all of us, when we learn new things, right, so we can admit with honesty that the pacing our learning pace might differ from the younger generations. And they can offer great opportunity for us to learn than how they learn. It might differ from how we learn because we come from different backgrounds. And admitting that with also finding opportunities that we can help expedite their learning, and also we also can also on the pathway of learning that we do not stop. I think that's the I think I really admire that teachers have the strong heart of accepting, admitting, finding opportunities all the time. We never stop learning because we expect our students to be the same, that they will not stop learning. But because we are formulating a community of practices, right, that we support each other, and students also support us, we support them, right? And we know our strengths, our weakness, and we are willing to address that gap or the last resource to support the best for the learning. I think that's a beauty of how we come together to support each other. I come with the result that in the future how we could work with the government of Malaysia and see that maybe we could initiate training of trainings, maybe for I know, and then see that how we put from forming your practices starting from the teacher leaders so that you will have the local support in a sustainable way that in which government also can continue to provide. grow this community of practices. So I think you have to inspire us that even though you struggle, you still can help and support your students to learn. I think that's fantastic. Even though yourself have limitations, but your student can learn, right? Is that amazing? It's amazing. And how we observe their learning pattern is also, I think for us, is the a learning path. Okay. For us, that oh, this is how they interact with technology. This is how I react and interact with technology. Different pacing, but we still can facilitate that. I mean, and because we are the master of facilitating the learning, right? Even though with any technology and with the support of these community members, I think I commit to continue growing this community of practices in order that we will continue to learn and help support each other, in order that our students will shine, grow, and be problem solver, creator, innovator, and so that they can become uh, better citizens. That the project that you shared with us that uh, they have initiated, it will contribute to their communities. That is a long run that they will become quality resource person so that they can contribute socially, economically, in their communities. And I'm really delighted that we can make this trip to share with us in person. I know that the many members do not have that privilege, but having the privilege of listening to you firsthand is very inspiring. And in the future, we will have more and more teachers to share together their similar stories that are inspiring. So I would like to say to a Tan for uh, for her dedication and for her time. We are grateful to you and we will try to accommodate. Yeah, the teacher's request. We will make this start before first. That you have started. Awesome. จะไม่ใช่ครึ่งfollow ต้องเลือกครึ่งไหนครึ่งหนึ่งทีละครึ่งได้ไหมคือแบบครึ่งอีกทีหนึ่งแล้วก็อีกทีหนึ่งใช้โยมอาจารย์จะเรื่องอะไรปีละ yeah, to represent my teachers in using Toronto and for all of you through this struggling experience. They said that we learn best through struggling experience. We learn very That's the most powerful moments that you can learn on. I appreciate you enjoying this difficult journey. It is learning and sharing with us. Why don't you give the big applause to yourself? And your honesty to share. Because that's your heart that we still keep learning together, letting go. Yeah, what is really good. Thank you so much. And what's it? Yes, yeah, for them to grow, we will grow. Yes, yeah. Thank you for sharing this information experience. I'm sorry to say that we eventually contributed our expression, but before that, compromise when we listen to great idea listening experience. Before that, we have photo. Yes, it's other photo. Please stay at online audience. I think we have done the photo. And after that, she talking beautifully. Maybe she will list of you should do the blue one. You have to still what's next. Could you please turn on the camera, please? On my audience. Thank you, lovely. Thank you. อันนี้คือจะให้เห็นทางออนไซต์ออนไลน์ใช่ไหมคะใช่ใช่ไม่งั้นอาจจะต้องมูฟไปทางโน้นค่ะขยับไม่ได้เชื่อที่single service มีผู้ใดเป็นจากของที่สำเร็จเราต้องตอนนี้เลยแวร์เป็นมันจะเห็นประมาณเนี้ยค่ะพี่หรือจะไปนั่งเก้าอี้สีน้ำเงินก็ได้
เป็นนั่งเก้าอี้สีน้ำเงิน
ชื่อบุ๊ก
we can add all together with the all
มันคงเรื่องการอันนี้เดี๋ยวใครแคปหน้าจอมาแล้วก็ภาพนี้ถึงเอาละสิ Steps หนอนี่เราจะไม่โอเคก็อันนี้ให้กด end stream ได้เลยไหมคะจะให้กด end stream เลยไหมคะหรือว่ายังไงอันนี้ให้กด end เลยไหมคะ end เลย